Betty White was far more than just America's sweetheart. She was a woman defined by resilience and quiet strength. Throughout her legendary career, she defied Hollywood's norms, broke racial barriers, and faced personal tragedies with grace. Yet one of the most pivotal chapters of her life remained largely untold until now. In this deep dive, we're going beyond the Golden Girls and uncovering the difficult truths that helped shape Betty White into the icon we all know and love today. Born on January 17, 1922 in Oak Park, Illinois, Betty Marion White entered the world with a name as unique as her personality. Contrary to popular belief, Betty wasn't a nickname. It was her real legal name. Betty was the only child of Christine and Horace White. Her father worked for a lighting company, and her heritage was a rich mix of Greek, Danish, English, and Welsh roots. When Betty was just 1 year old, her family moved west to California. They first settled in Alhambra and then made their way to Los Angeles, right in the midst of the Great Depression. Life was tough. Horace, a resourceful man, began building crystal radios, which he would trade for goods to make ends meet, sometimes even trading radios for dogs. Despite the financial struggles, Betty's early years in California laid the foundation for her future success. Growing up in Beverly Hills, Betty attended Horace Mann Elementary School and later Beverly Hills High School. Her childhood was marked by a love of the outdoors, and for a time, she dreamed of becoming a forest ranger. Unfortunately, that career path was not available to women at the time. Instead, Betty discovered her passion for performing. She wrote and starred in a play for her high school graduation, and it became clear that she was a natural. Inspired by iconic singers like Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy, Betty set her sights on becoming an actress, a decision that would eventually lead her to become one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. Just a month after finishing high school, Betty's adventurous spirit led her to an unexpected opportunity. She and a friend performed songs from The Merry Widow on an experimental TV show. This was in 1939 when television was still in its infancy. And Betty was not just a singer, she was a multi-talented performer, also working as a model. Her first acting gig came at the Bliss Hayden Little Theater, but just as her career was beginning to take shape, World War II turned everything upside down. Eager to do her part, Betty volunteered for the American Women's Voluntary Services during the war. Her role involved driving a large truck filled with supplies to soldiers stationed in the Hollywood Hills. She also helped organize and perform shows for the troops before they were shipped off to battle. Reflecting on that time, Betty later described it as a strange and confusing period. "The war turned the world upside down," she said, but she was determined to help bring a bit of joy to the soldiers during such dark times. After the war, Betty was eager to return to acting. She visited every movie studio she could, hoping to land a role, but each time, she was turned away. Despite the setbacks, Betty's perseverance never wavered. It was this unyielding spirit that would eventually propel her into the spotlight. But the road to stardom was far from easy. They told Betty White that she wasn't photogenic enough, that she didn't have the look for TV. But Betty wasn't deterred. If the movies weren't going to offer her a chance, she would turn to radio. She took on small jobs, reading commercials, playing minor roles, even making crowd noises in the background. It wasn't glamorous, and she earned just $5 per show, but her determination was unwavering. Betty White's work ethic was unparalleled. She even sang on a radio show for free solely for the experience. As her career in radio grew, she appeared on popular programs like Blondie, The Great Gildersleeve, and This Is Your FBI. Then in 1949, Betty made the leap to television. She co-hosted Hollywood on Television, a live variety show with Al Jarvis. This was a groundbreaking moment, as the show was one of the first daily live TV broadcasts in Los Angeles. Betty, with her bubbly personality and effortless charm, quickly became a natural on camera, winning over viewers night after night. In 1952, Al Jarvis left the show. and Betty became the sole host. Imagine, this young woman was now hosting a live TV show for 5.5 hours a day, 6 days a week, and she did it for 4 years straight. Fearless, Betty was always ready with a joke or a song, showcasing her versatility and remarkable work ethic. Her talent didn't go unnoticed. In 1951, Betty was nominated for her first Emmy Award as Best Actress on Television, competing against powerhouse names like Judith Anderson, Helen Hayes, and Imene Coca. Though she didn't win, it was a monumental moment in her career, an early recognition of her incredible talent in a fast-growing medium. Back then, the Emmy was given for an actress's overall body of work, not a specific show, and Betty was paving the way for women in television. In 1952, her star continued to rise as she was given her own show, The Betty White Show. It was a daily talk and variety program where Betty could showcase her talents, chatting with guests, singing, and delivering comedic moments. But Betty wasn't just performing, she was taking the reins, producing the show herself and even hiring a female director, a rare move at the time. Betty's inclusiveness and commitment to giving people opportunities stood out. One of her most significant decisions was hiring Arthur Duncan, a talented African-American tap dancer, to be a regular on the show. This was groundbreaking. It marked the first time a black performer had a regular spot on a national variety show. However, Betty's decision was met with resistance. TV stations in the South, where racial segregation still thrived, threatened to boycott the show unless Arthur Duncan was fired. Betty's response? A firm, "Live with it." She not only stood her ground, but even gave Arthur more airtime. The Betty White Show may not have lasted long, canceled by the end of 1954 due to shifting time slots and declining ratings, but its legacy lived on. Betty had made history by using her platform to break racial barriers, defy societal expectations, and give a talented performer a chance to shine. Through her early career, Betty had already demonstrated that her heart was as big as her talent, and she was just getting started. In the same year that Betty White started hosting Hollywood on television, she took a significant step in her career by co-founding her own production company, Bandy Productions, with some friends. Together, they created a new sitcom, Life with Elizabeth, which would mark a pivotal moment in Betty's career. This show was groundbreaking for several reasons. Betty played the lead role of Elizabeth, a married woman who frequently found herself in humorous and sometimes absurd situations. The show resonated with audiences, earning Betty a Los Angeles Emmy Award for her performance. What made Life with Elizabeth even more remarkable was Betty's behind-the-scenes influence. At just 28 years old, she had full control of the show, making decisions both on and off the camera, something very few women, especially young women, had the opportunity to do at the time. Despite still living with her parents, Betty was in charge of the show's direction. She insisted that the show be grounded in real-life situations rather than being fancy or trendy. Many of the funniest moments came from real events in Betty's life or those of her co-star Del Moore or the writers. This was a sitcom that audiences could truly relate to, showcasing Betty's ability to bring authenticity and charm to everything she did. But Betty's talents didn't stop at television. She also appeared in live TV commercials, gaining recognition for her natural charisma. One of her most iconic ads was for Dr. Ross dog food, where she charmed viewers with her signature wit. She even made a guest appearance on The Millionaire, playing a diner owner who suddenly finds herself in possession of $1 million. It was clear that Betty's career was taking off, and her name was quickly becoming synonymous with entertainment and charm. When Life with Elizabeth ended, Betty didn't miss a beat. She quickly landed a role as Vicky Angel on the ABC sitcom Date with the Angels. The premise of the show, focusing on Vicky's daydreams and fantasies, seemed promising. But it wasn't long before the show's sponsor grew dissatisfied with the fantasy elements and demanded they be removed. This decision deeply frustrated Betty, and she later admitted that it was the only time she ever seriously considered quitting a show. Despite her dissatisfaction, The network wouldn't let her out of her contract, so she had no choice but to continue for another 13 weeks. Instead of trying to salvage Date with the Angels, Betty returned to what she knew best, hosting her own talk and variety show. The Betty White Show came back to the air, filling the time Betty owed ABC. While Date with the Angels failed to connect with audiences and critics, Betty's return to her own show was a hit with fans, who loved seeing her back in her element. It was a reminder that Betty had an incredible knack for reinventing herself and always bouncing back, no matter the setback. Though Date with the Angels didn't work out, it did lead to one of the most important relationships of Betty's life, her friendship with Lucille Ball, the legendary star of I Love Lucy. Both shows were filmed at the same studio, and Betty and Lucille often ran into each other. The two stars hit it off immediately, bonding over their shared experiences as women making it big in a male-dominated industry. They became close friends, offering each other support through the trials of both their personal and professional lives. From discussing their struggles with divorce and health issues to comforting each other after losing loved ones, Betty and Lucille's friendship went beyond the industry. They even had a friendly rivalry on game shows, but their connection was deeper than just playful competition. They understood each other's challenges, and their mutual respect for one another helped them navigate the often tough world of show business. And she quickly became a fan favorite. Her portrayal of Sue Ann Nivens, the sweet but scheming happy homemaker, was both comical and complex, showcasing Betty's incredible range. The role marked a turning point in Betty White's career as she transitioned from a beloved television personality to a true comedy powerhouse. Her witty one-liners and her impeccable timing earned her critical acclaim, and in 1975, she won her first Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a comedy series for The Mary Tyler Moore Show. But despite her growing success, Betty's personal life was not without its challenges. During this period, she was also grappling with the pressures of being in the spotlight and balancing her career with her personal life. Her work on The Mary Tyler Moore Show was just one example of her commitment to breaking barriers and defying expectations. She was no longer just a charming personality on game shows. She was now a respected, serious actress, known for her depth and range. In the 1980s, Betty solidified her status as a cultural icon by starring in The Golden Girls, the beloved sitcom that introduced her to a new generation of fans. Playing Rose Nyland, the naively sweet but endearingly eccentric character, Betty captured hearts once again. The Golden Girls became a groundbreaking show, not only for its portrayal of older women living together and supporting each other, but also for the way it tackled real issues with humor and grace. The show, which aired from 1985 to 1992, became an instant classic, earning Betty multiple awards and further cementing her place in television history. Her role as Rose Nyland also showed Betty's knack for balancing humor with vulnerability. Rose's sometimes misguided but always sincere nature allowed Betty to explore both comedic and touching moments with ease. The show's success was a testament to Betty's timeless appeal, and her performance earned her 2 more Emmy Awards, including one for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series in 1993. Even as The Golden Girls came to an end, Betty White's career never slowed down. She appeared in numerous other television shows and films, consistently bringing her signature charm and comedic timing to every role. In 2010, she made an unforgettable return to the spotlight when she appeared on Saturday Night Live. A Facebook campaign to get Betty to host the show went viral, and the 88-year-old actress proved she had lost none of her comedic edge, delivering a memorable performance that delighted audiences and earned her an Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. Beyond her acting, Betty White's personal life remained a reflection of her joyful spirit and commitment to helping others. In addition to her advocacy for animals, she was involved in numerous charitable organizations and was known for her generous contributions to causes close to her heart. Her love for animals in particular was well known, and she was a passionate supporter of the Los Angeles Zoo and the Morris Animal Foundation. Betty's kindness, humility, and sense of humor made her beloved by fans of all ages, and her ability to stay relevant for decades was a testament to her resilience and adaptability. Throughout her life and career, Betty White shattered stereotypes, broke barriers, and showed the world that age is just a number. From her early days in Hollywood to her later years as a pop culture icon, Betty's journey was one of perseverance, hard work, and never giving up on her dreams. She proved time and again that her success wasn't just about being funny, though she certainly was that, but about her ability to remain true to herself and her passion for entertaining others. Betty White's legacy is one of a true trailblazer, an icon who defied the odds and left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Her life serves as an inspiration to all, showing that it's never too late to achieve greatness, and that humor, kindness, and resilience are the qualities that define true legends. For her portrayal of Rose Nyland, a testament to her incredible skill and versatility as an actress. The show not only cemented Betty White's place as a television icon, but it also highlighted her ability to embrace roles that defied stereotypes. Playing Rose, she transformed what could have been a simple, one-dimensional character into a multi-layered, deeply relatable woman. Her portrayal of Rose, a sweet and somewhat naive woman with a heart of gold, resonated with audiences worldwide. But Betty's success in The Golden Girls was about more than just her remarkable acting. The show itself was a cultural revolution, shattering societal expectations by focusing on older women living independent, fulfilling lives. It was groundbreaking, giving voice to a demographic that had often been marginalized in mainstream media. Betty, along with her co-stars Bea Arthur, Rue McClanahan, and Estelle Getty, proved that age was no barrier to success, friendship, or love. The Golden Girls also became a haven for fans of all ages who found comfort and joy in the dynamic friendships portrayed on screen. Betty's chemistry with her co-stars was undeniable, and their bond off-screen mirrored their characters' relationships, creating a sense of authenticity that made the show feel like family. This special camaraderie was especially evident in the late-night conversations between the characters, which often dealt with everything from love and loss to personal growth and family. Betty's quick wit and impeccable timing brought her character, Rose, to life in a way that few could. Even after The Golden Girls ended in 1992, Betty continued to enjoy a long, successful career. She became a beloved figure not just in the entertainment world, but in the hearts of fans everywhere. Her subsequent roles, including guest appearances on popular sitcoms like The Nanny, The Simpsons, and Hot in Cleveland, kept her relevant and beloved in the eyes of a new generation. Her career, spanning decades, proved that Betty was not just an entertainer. She was a trailblazer. Whether it was hosting game shows, appearing in sitcoms, or starring in commercials, Betty's legacy was built on her ability to connect with people. Her genuine warmth, paired with her sharp comedic timing, made her one of the most endearing and versatile figures in television history. In the 2000s, Betty's star shone even brighter. She became the subject of viral internet memes, cementing her place as a pop culture phenomenon. In 2010, she was the unexpected star of a wildly successful Saturday Night Live appearance, which led to her first-ever Emmy win for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. At 88, Betty White proved that she was still at the top of her game, inspiring fans with her resilience and timeless humor. Through it all, Betty White's ability to stay relevant and beloved for over 7 decades was a testament to her remarkable work ethic, her unwavering commitment to her craft, and her genuine love for making people laugh. Her career was far from easy, yet she faced every challenge with grace and a smile, earning her the title of America's Sweetheart. Betty's personal life, though often private, was as rich and fulfilling as her career. She married 3 times, and her most famous relationship was with her late husband, Alan Ludden, whom she met while hosting Password. Their love story was legendary, with Betty often speaking fondly of Alan, who passed away in 1981. She once remarked that their relationship was a once-in-a-lifetime love, and her enduring affection for him was evident throughout her life. As she approached her 90s, Betty continued to radiate positivity, offering advice and wisdom to fans and aspiring actors alike. She was admired not just for her incredible career, but for her generous spirit and commitment to charity. She had a deep love for animals, and she devoted much of her time to supporting animal welfare organizations. Betty White's life was one of both professional triumphs and personal trials, but through it all, she remained steadfast in her mission to bring joy to the world. Her story is one of resilience, creativity, and authenticity. She broke barriers, defied expectations, and proved that age is just a number. Betty White wasn't just a television star. She was a symbol of grace, humor, and the power of laughter. And as her legacy continues to inspire, she will forever be remembered as one of the most beloved and iconic figures in television history. When The Golden Girls first aired, it was more than just a sitcom. It became an iconic cultural phenomenon. But the magic of the show didn't come without its complexities, both on and off the set. Betty White, whose portrayal of the sweet, sometimes naive Rose Nyland endeared her to millions, had a long history with her co-stars. In fact, she and Rue McClanahan had worked together previously on Mama's Family, but it was their time on The Golden Girls that truly solidified their bond, one that would last for decades. Yet not everything behind the scenes was as warm as it appeared on screen. Betty's relationship with co-star B. Arthur, who portrayed the sharp-witted Dorothy, was notoriously rocky. While Betty's perpetually sunny disposition was a hallmark of her personality, it often clashed with B's more reserved, sometimes grumpy nature. Despite their differences, the undeniable chemistry between the cast members fueled the show's success. Viewers loved the witty repartee between the characters, and the show's heart, the deep exploration of aging, friendship, and family, resonated with audiences of all ages. In 2009, Betty faced a personal heartbreak when she lost her beloved husband, Alan Ludden. She later admitted, "I knew it would hurt. I just didn't know it would hurt this much." Despite the personal loss, Betty's professional life continued to shine. The Golden Girls, though over by 1992 after B. Arthur's departure, had already etched a permanent place in television history. But for Betty, Rue, and Estelle Getty, the story wasn't over yet. They reprised their roles in a new sitcom, The Golden Palace, but sadly, the show couldn't replicate the magic of its predecessor and lasted only one season. Still, Betty wasn't done with Rose Nyland. She made guest appearances on various NBC shows, including Empty Nest and Nurses, bringing a touch of Golden Girls nostalgia wherever she went. It was clear that neither Betty nor her loyal fans were ready to part with Rose. Even after the brief end of The Golden Palace, Betty's career continued to thrive. She appeared on a wide variety of shows like Suddenly Susan, The Practice, and Yes, Dear, earning more Emmy nominations in the process. In 1996, she won an Emmy for her hilarious guest appearance on The John Larroquette Show, where she played a diva-like version of herself. But Betty's talents weren't confined to TV. She showcased her comedic range on the big screen with films like Lake Placid and Bringing Down the House. Her remarkable career didn't stop there. Betty took on new challenges, including joining the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful in 2006, where she played the long-lost mother of the show's central character. She also had a recurring role on Boston Legal, where she portrayed a gossipy character with a knack for stirring trouble. Through it all, Betty White remained a beloved figure, a true comedic legend whose impact on television and film will never be forgotten. Betty White's career never slowed down, not even as she entered her 80s. After her unexpected role as a villain in The Practice, She proved once again that she could play anything, from sweet to sinister. Betty's versatility continued to shine as she made several notable TV appearances, including on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. She even returned to her roots in the game show world, appearing on the revived version of Password, now called $1 Million Password. In 2008, Betty White reunited with the Mary Tyler Moore Show cast on Oprah's network, sparking nostalgia and highlighting her commitment to animal welfare through campaigns for Pet M Express. Her unexpected resurgence came in 2009 with her role as Ryan Reynolds' grandmother in the hit romantic comedy The Proposal, showcasing her timeless comedic charm. That year, her Snickers Super Bowl cameo became iconic. In 2010, a Facebook campaign made her the oldest host of Saturday Night Live, earning her another Emmy. She also starred in Hot in Cleveland as Elka Ostrovsky, initially a pilot role that turned into a key character over 6 successful seasons. In 2011, Betty White starred in Hallmark's The Lost Valentine, the highest-rated movie on the network in 4 years, further establishing her status as a beloved television icon. From 2012 to 2014, she produced and hosted Betty White's Off Their Rockers, a prank show that garnered 3 Emmy nominations. In 2011, she released a calendar celebrating her career and love for animals, highlighting her dedication beyond acting. In 2012, she launched a clothing line for animal charities and won a Grammy for her spoken word album. As her 90th birthday neared, NBC honored her with a special featuring messages from celebrities, including President Obama. In her personal life, Betty's journey featured ups and downs. She married Air Force pilot Dick Barker during World War II, but they divorced quickly. Following another brief marriage to talent agent Lane Allen, she met Alan Ludden on the game show Password. Their connection was instant, leading to their engagement when Allen humorously wore her rejected diamond ring around his neck. They married in 1963, and Betty later expressed regret for not marrying him sooner, appreciating their time together. Betty and Alan's life together was simple, yet filled with joy. Betty found comfort in their shared home, with days full of barbecues, dancing, and laughter. She expressed her happiness on Johnny Carson's show, highlighting the joy of her years with Alan Ludden. Tragically, their happiness ended when Alan was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer, a devastating time for Betty, who juggled her career while caring for him. Despite the pain, she was by his side until he fell into a coma and passed away just 2 months shy of their 18th anniversary, leaving Betty heartbroken. She often remarked that her earlier marriages were mere rehearsals compared to her true love with Alan, and chose never to remarry. Even without children, she had no regrets about focusing on her career, keeping Alan's photo by her bed, and honoring him with affectionate gestures daily. Betty claimed their 18 years felt like one long honeymoon. After Alan's death, she dated, but no one compared. Upon her passing in 2021, her love for Alan remained evident, with her last word reportedly being Alan, signifying their enduring bond. Betty attributed her long, happy life to her positive outlook, inherited from her mother. This optimism allowed her to find joy in every situation, affecting both her professional and personal life. Known for her love of poker with friends and vodka cocktails, she embraced life to the fullest. However, her greatest passion was her love for animals. Betty spoke fondly of her pets, advocating for their kindness and well-being. As a trustee for the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association for over 40 years, she utilized her fame to raise funds and awareness for animal conservation. Betty actively participated in zoo events, further supporting their mission and extending her advocacy globally through collaborations with organizations like the Morris Animal Foundation and the African Wildlife Foundation. She generously donated her time and resources to animal welfare across the globe. Additionally, she hosted The Pet Set, a show that featured celebrities and their pets, while addressing animal-related issues. This platform allowed her to advance her lifelong mission of advocating for animal rights and conservation, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to animals throughout her life.